Back this week to review a little bit about what I've learned from my Lenten Digital Declutter. I'm not gone straight minimalist. I just happen to be wearing a t-shirt today, but we'll start there. I want to review a little bit of what I've found helpful and meaningful thus far in the Lenten Digital Declutter. And I want to start with a little bit of the Digital Minimalism book from Cal Newport, just to give a sample and some of the taste of it. So there's two passages I want to read from the introduction. And for me, this part was really helpful in thinking about what digital minimalism is as a philosophy of technology use that he says is rooted in your deep values that provide clear answers to the questions of what tools you should use and how you should use them. And equally important, that this enables you to confidently ignore everything else. And so you're getting rid of that fear of missing out of things, this idea that if I don't like this thing or stay up on news, then I will miss out somehow. That's a real fear I have as a person, as a pastor who wants to know what's happening in the world and happening on my streets and in national news, global news, for caring about social justice issues, all of that. But I've found that I haven't really been too out of the loop on things. I felt less anxious not watching the news and listening to NPR off of the actual radio, not off of my phone. And so I find the technology use that he is inviting us into when we reinstall all of these technological things at the end of a digital declutter will be helpful, I think. One of the biggest problems I've had is dealing with two things that he talks about called intermittent positive reinforcement and also the drive for social approval. And so in page 17 of the book, when he gets into it there, talking about that our smartphone is essentially like a slot machine, that every time we go to it and we pull it out to see what did we get, and that there is some real psychology and sociology that has gone into the technological hooks that keep us going back to that. So I've had a pretty hard time wanting to reach in my back pocket and pull out my phone. It's a bodily function. An easy way I've prevented this is putting it somewhere else in the house, leaving it here on my desk in the office section of the house, away from the family part of things, or just putting it out of sight has really helped me at work too. I've been doing fairly well with the not liking and posting things on social media outside of work and ministry needs, and trying to check my email just twice a day, towards the middle of the day to get rolling on things I want to do in the morning, and then also at the end of the day before I leave the office to try and set up what I need to set up to get done tomorrow morning. Been doing okay with that. The clearest benefit that I can point to in this, now it's Friday, and so I've been doing this for a week and 2 days, is that I don't feel as distracted when I'm with my daughter. So when I'm with my 5-year-old in the mornings, when I'm feeding her and we're singing songs or doing things, I find myself wonderfully not distracted by my phone. At bedtime or when we're doing anything on a walk, anything, I just find myself being more present with her. And that is a very clear and easy demonstrable thing that I find aligns with my values so much as a parent, and I'm grateful for that. So I feel like I'm doing a better job paying attention to her and to my spouse, to my wife, but especially for my kid. I find that to be the most meaningful thing I've found so far. And so that's my big takeaway from 1 week in on my first week of the Lenten Digital Declutter. I hope this is helpful for other people to look at Cal Newport's book on digital minimalism, or the book on essentialism from Greg McEwen. I'll get back to that in some of these later posts and readings. So until then, we'll see you next time, and thanks again for taking a moment just to listen to my reflections. Thanks, y'all. Peace.